Metro Government's Office of Violence Prevention is once again hosting its Safe Summer Kickoff program this Saturday. It's making a concerted effort in 10 neighborhoods throughout Louisville.
The goal is to promote safety while connecting communities. Wave anchor Rob Wells brings us a preview.
Ashley Webb with the Office of Violence Prevention tells me that the mission of these Safe Summer Kickoff programs is clear and follows the motto of when people know each other, they tend to look out for one another. As the pools, parks, and recreation centers around Louisville get busier as the temperatures rise, keeping the scene safe remains top priority.
And what we have found is we need to have more spaces where our youth's voice can be heard and lifted.
As Deputy Director of the Office of Violence Prevention, Ashley Webb says that the summer kickoff programs are the key to making sure that the fun doesn't fizzle.
When we give our youth opportunities to use and elevate their voice and have opportunities to do things such as creating programs for themselves, it enhances their confidence. It allows them to be more sure about themselves, which in turn leads to them saying something when they see something.
She adds this past May had the fewest victims of gun violence in Louisville in more than a decade. There were a total of 27 non-fatal shooting and homicide victims last month. The last time it was that low, she says, was 2015.
And the data showcases that we are continually seeing a sustained reduction in violence year to date, month over month, and we want to make sure that we continue to do the work.
Besides building safe communities, she says the goal is also to empower young people in hopes that they'll remain in Louisville and become community leaders themselves as adults. Rob Wells, Wave News.